Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are once again starting kind of in the middle of things. We are flying the FSLabs A320 for Metroair, and this flight started in Dallas, Fort Worth, and we're going down to New Orleans. So KMSY. I think maybe it's called Louis, or maybe the name of the airport is Louis Armstrong Airport or something like that. But anyways, we are almost at our top of descent, or close enough, at least according to pilot to ADC. And we are now cruising at 33,000 feet. So we have about 8 nautical miles according to this one before we should start descending, and pilot to ADC is about, no sorry, yeah, 80, about 80, maybe 100 almost. While pilot to ADC is about 40 nautical miles, so let's see how that will align. And I'll show you the flight plan real quickly. So it's quite a short one. There was some risk of thunderstorm clouds up here towards Memphis, but not really anything down here near New Orleans. So it should be good. And we're gonna do the RNAV to runway 11, the RNAV Y approach, and we'll be landing here, and then hopefully just taxiing to the gate. We don't have the, what's it called, the Aerosoft New Orleans city package. I'm hoping to get that at some point, so, but it looks pretty good without that as well. But that's something that I think I would recommend. I haven't seen how it kind of aligns with the Latin VFR airport, but should be pretty fine. The airport you didn't see on this flight though is Dallas Fort Worth. It's pretty okay, but it's an old FS Stream Team one, right? So it's really not the best one, unfortunately. Do you have any good viewpoints? Sucks that the view doesn't really work with the Metroair one. And now we're turning towards LSU. I really like the A320 with the IAE engines. I don't know why, but I just think it looks better. I think it's because it reflects the fuselage a bit more, you know, thin and long in a way. Maybe not compared to, let's say, the 757-300, but still, you know, all airplane fuselages do look are more longer than they are wider.
One arrival with the LSU transition for the RNAV Yankee approach to runway
So I do
11
prefer
with
it
the
over the
RQR
CFM,
transition
just
at
aesthetically.
New Orleans International Airport. Contact Houston Center on 127.85.
Okay, we're getting
one arrival with the LSU transition for the
forward.
RNAV Yankee approach to runway 11 with the RQR transition center on 127.85 Metro 4003.
Doesn't seem to be too many other Metroair pilots that are up flying right now. We have some with Prism.
Center Metro 4003 level at flight level 330.
Unclear though what aircraft this one is. Doesn't say actually. And then we have another for Metroair flying up here. But yeah, uncertain which aircraft it is. I need to check that actually. So I'm gonna guess Boeing or an Airbus. That's the easy guesses. And we do seem to have a bit of a cloud cover, so the question is, will that hurt us in terms of minimums? And we can have a look already here, zoom in a bit. So quite low, right, because it's situated near the water, if you remember Hurricane Katrina. And 204 should be, I think we, are we LPV? I think so, right? But I guess this is if you only have the LNAV, this is if you have the LNAV VNAV, or basically if you have VNAV, then you'll have an LNAV. So 204 should be the one we can put in 204 Barrow QNH. I think we can see it in our flight plan. So here we go, destination scattered 250, so maybe it should be fine actually. Few at, so it's gonna get a bit worse and then it's gonna start improving again. QNH or altimeter is 3006. 3006. Oh wait, sorry, I think I need to put the dot actually. 30 like that. Temperature 22 Celsius, which makes sense. And the wind, basically no wind, so that's pretty nice. Let's see if it remains that way. Let's see if there's any changes. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a bit of wind. So let's pay a bit of attention to that. Nothing bad though. I mean, we're landing at 11, right? So we should have a headwind.
Tiger Baton Rouge at or above 13,900 feet, then descend via the ordered one arrival with the NSC transition to cross at or above
100, that's a weird
feet, altimeter 3007
altitude to get. Oh, we've forgotten to close our landing lights
Cross-fighting Tiger Baton Rouge at
and our
above
seatbelt signs for that
13,900 feet, then descend via the odd at
matter.
arrival with the LSU transition to cross
Or have it
RQR
been
or above 3,300 feet, altimeter 3007, Metro 4003.
Maybe we can keep it off. Does that automatically do it for? Yeah, it does it for pack X. And in terms of actually our kind of ortho, we only have our own made ortho, so that's something to keep in mind, but it does look pretty good. P3D can look very good actually with the ortho and the clouds. I just wish I could get better autogen with my own ortho. For Texas I do actually have a lot of autogen from Living Airports, because they sell their own kind of package. So that looks pretty good. But yeah, for some it's not the best. We'll do medium. I think we can do without using spoilers for the descent. Let's put that up. We can probably go with this one to below, since we're soon gonna start descending. We'll keep this on weather radar and this on terrain. Not that much else to really keep in mind. Here you can see what I was talking about with the CB warnings. Don't think there's really much else in terms of things to keep in mind. Nothing else really to talk about. Let's maybe have a look at our fuel, LSU 5.7, right? Yeah, and we are at 6.2, so we are looking like we're gonna be kind of exactly on, or maybe we are a bit. Let's have a look. Progression, right? We're at, no, not sorry, not progression. The way you wanna see, is it performance? Maybe this flight plan, right? If you move this one, we'll see estimated fuel on board 5.9, so it's looking pretty good. We have about 125 nautical miles to go. The sky is clearing up, so that's good. I thought it was gonna be a, yeah, maybe it's because of, you know, looking at the distance, right? It's hard to see if it's clouds or not. But yeah, it looks pretty good, right? The photo reel from up here. It's funny though, in some places it will really look like land class, because it's, you know, it's like a farm that's a square or similar. And here we have, I guess this is the Mississippi River. So we're basically gonna fly down with the river towards the airport, and we'll kind of follow the coast until we land. Yeah, here we have the pilots in the cockpit. And keep this viewpoint, I think, for the outside. Should soon start descending. It's weird though, it wants me really low, and I actually think we might want to start descending a bit sooner than this one, because it feels like we'll otherwise have a bit of a potential problem in our descent. So I'm gonna start descending now, because we only have 110 nautical miles to go before we're at the airport. So let's put this plane down. That one works. So we are descending towards our destination with the beautiful Metroair livery. Such an iconic virtual airline livery, I would say. My favorite one. Possibly, yeah, my favorite one. I like the Top of Sky one by Fly UK as well, but this one is just it's just a classic. I guess it's because it looks kind of realistic, right? I could imagine seeing planes looking like this flying in the US. And let's see now, we are descending slowly. I'm wondering though, when was the last CEO built? Let me have a look actually. So the last A321 was 2021, 22 of them. There was a lot of these delivered like just kind of late, even here in 2018. 2017, 2016, I mean look at it. And then basically the Neo took over. I mean look at this, 2019. Crazy delivery pace. That's nuts, 400 planes in a year. They've never really recovered. Or basically they have actually. My fault, 2024. Basically the A321. They just kind of swapped between the 21 and the 20. Which has more orders than the 20 actually. The 19 has very few orders. That's very interesting. How long did it take for the orders to pick up? Oh, they picked up really quickly. God damn, look at this. And then it basically, or no, sorry, not the orders, the deliveries. I wonder why they shrank there around the 90s. Could have been, yeah, possibly maybe some economic downturn. Okay, let's see. Here's, I guess, the whole family deliveries. So they have been increasing though on a steady basis for 90. I guess the record year was 2019, 642. I haven't really reached that level yet. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, well let's focus on the actual flight at hand, or try to at least. We what's the, I'm trying to see here which other aircraft would be interesting to see. Maybe the A350, how many deliveries does that one have already? It's already 651. Deliveries have been in 2025. There's been 37 new orders. Quite fluctuating orders actually, A350. I mean, look at this. It goes kind of up, then it goes down, minus, minus, up again, minus, up again, and down. Kind of, you know, up and about in terms of deliveries. Well, not that many 9 aircraft this year. So they're been a bit slow of a quarter for A350. And the A330, what about that one? It's had 0 deliveries. No, sorry, 4 deliveries this year. So very low number. And they can deliver a lot of them. 75 in 14, 17, 15. So I guess 75 in 14 was their kind of record year for the A330. And let's see, anything else could be fun to check. The A220, right? I mean, this is Wikipedia, so do keep in mind that it might not be 100% correct information. It's online information, right? Always be a bit, specifically Wikipedia, because anyone can kind of, they do have a pretty good process for vetting it, but it is possible, right, that something ends up being wrong. Okay, and we are descending. Let's change maybe our viewpoint. Maybe we can do one of the wing views. This one is pretty cool as well. Actually, I want to keep the right one, I think. Let's see, the right wing view, because we're going to be turning. So even though it looks a bit dull now, it's going to be pretty nice. I'm going to save this one. I like the more... Don't want to be too close, then it looks like we're zoomed in a bit. And I'm just going to change quickly to the inside view. So the A220 has had negative orders actually in 24 and 25. Increase in deliveries. It had every year increase in deliveries, but now in 2025 it looks like it's a bit slower. But it's going to be a success with like 1,000 orders in total. Possibly more, right? I mean, we're still early on in its career, but it's been manufactured for quite some time, but only delivered since 2016. And I've actually flown on it once, so that was pretty cool actually. I need to do a list of like the aircraft types. The airline, I'm not really that sensitive, you know, not that big of a fanboy. I have to fly to different airlines, but you know, knowing which types you have flown on is of course a fun thing, right? Okay, we can go further down to 3,300. And we're actually below 18,000, so we should go to the altimeter, which is 3307. So let's see, 3007, that was the one. Let's get that info into these altimeters. And we can continue our descent. We have 47 nautical miles to go. Could this be a bit tight? Hopefully not, but let's see. Potentially. What's the AVDAD? We should be at 9,000 feet. So might be that we are a bit after. Let's have a look at the yeah, we're a bit above. Let's see how this will go. So I've flown, I'm trying to think, plane types I know I've flown on, right? I've flown the A330-300 with the Rolls-Royce, because I've flown the the SAS one, I've flown the GE one, right? Isn't that the one Finnair has? Let me have a look.
Southwest 495, amend altitude, cross jack at and maintain 11,000.
Because there's different ones, right? It could be the Pratt & Whitney as well. GE, right? Yeah, looks like that's it. I've flown on the A320. Is it the 300 version? Which one does Air France operate? Probably something like that, right? A320 300, yeah, that's not surprising, I would say.
American 2758, contact approach 124.35. 124, 35.
Oh, it has a separate web page for their fleet. Yeah, it's a 300 they have. 42 in service, so quite a bit. Looks pretty good actually here. Here, of course, it could also help a bit with a higher. Let me change back with a higher kind of graphic or higher resolution for the closer we get right to the airport. And here we can see a bit of a cloud layer, right? So that sucks. We're not gonna be able to see it much more. I've flown the A319, I've flown that one, I've flown the A320, I've flown the A321, I've flown the A320 Neo. Have I flown the A321 Neo? Maybe question mark on that one. No, I've flown the A320 Neo. What else? Who has the A319 Neo? A319 Neo. I do wonder. Let's have a look. Yeah, basically no one has the A319 Neo. So probably haven't flown on that.
Metro 4003, you are 32 nautical miles west of the airport. Altimeter 3007, cleared direct RQR, then cleared for the rough Yankee approach to runway 11 with the RQR transition at Armstrong New Orleans
Okay, now we
International
are
Airport.
below
Contact
10,000
New
feet. That means
Orleans
landing lights. Go on.
Altimeter 3007 cleared direct RQR,
3007,
then cleared for the
we're
RNA
being
Yankee
cleared.
approach to runway 11 with the RQR transition at Armstrong New Orleans International Airport approach on 123.85 Metro 4003.
We have begun our final descent into Louisiana. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin.
Okay, we're actually gonna add a bit of
Metro
speed break.
4003 descending to 3,300 feet.
Please also store any
Metroair
Let's see.
4003, good afternoon.
all Wi-Fi related tasks and
So
show any
speed brake
further
should help a bit. We can add the lights. Try to make sure we don't forget that. Seat belt sign can come on. Maybe a bit late. Tad bit maybe. Still continuing to descend. I think we can go further down. Below. Let's have a look. We can't really see anything of the weather. Oh, and here we have the nice FSLabs sounds. So if you don't have PACX or you don't have any other kind of, let's call it immersive crew experience or something like software that emulates that, then you have that kind of included with the FSLabs one. So it's nice. We won't be using ILS. We can put on the landing system. So that's on. I put it on here as well. I guess you would have both pilots put that on. We're still descending, albeit slowly. Let's add more speed brake. See if we can. How are we looking? We're way high. Look at that. We're starting to catch on, but it's gonna be tight. We might just about make it here between Figure and Rust. But let's see. here we're coming in for the landing. I might actually do that at some point, just go and get the higher zoom level for the places closer to where I'm landing. I do like this though, it looks like there's been some generation of
Altimeter
factories,
3007 tower on
even though it looks a bit
119.5
messy.
Metro 4003.
And it's been able to place the trees pretty well here. So
Tower
that's pretty
Metro
cool actually.
4003 inbound for RNAV approach runway 11.
Okay, it's still looking fine.
Metro 4003.
We can't be much high now, 1,500, so yeah, a bit higher.
Continue RNAV runway 11 will call when established on final Metro 4003.
Okay, we can, after the rust away point, we can put on the approach mode. But let's wait for that. We have the deviation, so that's not surprising. We're gonna try to slow down. You can see the pitch kind of went up a bit, and we also, oh, and look at that, that must be the oil. Yeah, makes sense, a lot of oil here in the Gulf of Mexico, or I guess the Gulf of America now, if we wanna look at it from the American point of view, I guess. Okay, we're almost at the right one. I'm gonna add the approach mode. Shouldn't make too much of a difference. Gonna go flap 1. We can go to 0 on the speed brake. We can arm it. Flaps 1 should be a lot of help, hopefully. You can see the runway there in front of us, so that's pretty nice. Still have a bit of a deviation. I guess we are trying to slow down, right? Let's go flaps 2, and we can drop the landing gear. We saw the increase in lift we got there from just going to flaps 2. I'm actually gonna go to manual on the thrust lever, and we could also go to manual on the rest. Let's see. Oh wait, I'm just quickly gonna pause. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. The wife wanted me to help get something. So now I'm back though. Okay, let's see. We can go off with the autopilot as well. Shouldn't we get the final? Let's try to descend. But yeah, no. The life of a flight simmer. The wife will always interrupt at the wrong times. I guess it's the disadvantage of being short, right? Then you'll need the tall man to help. Sure, many of you can relate. Let's see. Maybe I need to get my wife into flight simming. I've seen a few women do that as well, but I guess it's a bit like with flying as well. It's mainly men. For some reason, I guess all this kind of engineering stuff is more men, well, lawyers, etc. There are more women. Okay, let's see. We are descending. Feels like we are quite a bit high. So let's pay a bit of attention, but everything should be ready. We have
1,000.
We have the lights, we have the flaps, we have the gear down. Should be fine. Metro 4003 established on final.
Metro 4003 winds are calm. Cleared to land runway 11.
Clear to land runway 11 Metro 4003.
I mean, we
Metro
are a bit...
4003 cleared to land runway 11.
Clear to land runway 11 Metro 4003.
Okay, we got landing clearance, that's good.
400.
We're maybe going a bit fast in terms of descent rate. 100 above. Continue. Okay, and there we got the skyscrapers in the background. 100.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 10, 5.
Okay, there we go. Pretty smooth landing. Actually, pretty damn good landing. I didn't think we were gonna get there because we were a bit high, to be honest. Okay, we can let this one roll quite a bit. Okay, we don't need to do that. Everything is, we can brake a tiny bit.
70 knots.
So yeah, welcome to New Orleans. And we have managed to land. I guess we can turn on this one. Must have been high-speed takeoff at some point. Not anymore. But we can turn on this one. Oh, maybe we shouldn't have went to the left that quickly, but here we go.
Metro 4003 contact New Orleans ground on 121.9.
We can start the APU.
Ground on 121.9 or
Shut
Metro
these ones.
4003.
Metro 4003, ready to taxi.
Metro 4003 taxi to Gate Golf 2 via Taxiway Alpha.
Taxi to Gate Golf 2 via Taxiway Alpha, Metro 4003.
They actually want us to the other side. I'm not sure. Is there a difference? Like, is one international? Oh, sorry about that. Or is this? Yeah, I really don't know actually. Let's check. Is it open now? Yeah, it's open. We'll just park here somewhere, right? We can maybe take this first one here just to wrap things up a bit earlier. It's a lot of fun to fly the FSLabs. I know I say it every video I fly it, but it's just a great aircraft. I always feel immersed, and I think that's the most important part if you're doing flight sim, right? You want to feel immersed. You want to, you know, try different approaches, etc. Just want to have I guess a good experience, and the FSLabs definitely give you that. And hopefully it's some of you who are flying on Microsoft Flight Sim. I guess you have the A321 for the 2020 version from FSLabs, but I'm gonna guess you're gonna be getting quite a bit more going forward, because I guess they're also moving over to Microsoft Flight Sim. Okay, let's see here. We can go to idle thrust, that should be enough. You can put the bleeds, so you get the air conditioning, and let's turn a bit. We can stop here maybe. Let's go a bit forward, there we go. And we can shut the engines. I'm a bit uncertain about Latin VFR. I feel like some of their airports look really good. This one look pretty good actually, because you also have the inside, right? And I guess if you've been to this airport, I assume it's very kind of a basic but true to life kind of what would you call it? True to life kind of showcase how it would look on the interior, right? But I've never been to New Orleans. It will be on my to-do list. I haven't actually flown here a lot because I didn't have the ortho for it, but well, now since I've been able to generate it, and we did have a route with the Metroair one, it was perfect to kind of do this one. Let's see, smart cars, what does it say? Landing rate of -3 to 25. Okay, so maybe not as smooth, but I guess the G forces were pretty fine. We can close that. We can also have a look at this one. That one is probably waiting on me to do this. And now we have the deboarding, 328. Okay, So not the smoothest, but it felt really smooth. So let's have a look at the replay and see what we can take from that one. I mean, approach-wise, we were a bit high, so that's something to keep in mind. Here you can see what I was talking about, right? That we should probably go a bit of a higher zoom level on the tiles closer to the airport. It will of course take a bit more in terms of oh, sorry about that, in terms of space on your computer, but it shouldn't be that much if it's just one tile. And I'm just starting my ortho. I'll show you a bit how I'm thinking for those of you who are in the same conundrum. I think maybe there's some of Latin VFR, because these ones don't feel like they're procedurally generated stuff. And what's that? That's a bridge, right? Maybe, yeah. Okay, so in terms of our landing, well, that's pretty good, I think. We're coming in quite hot. Oh yeah, it looks like the APU is on, but that's just because the replay function doesn't work that well, unfortunately. Okay, but here we're coming down, and it felt very smooth. Not sure how it registers that kind of landing rate, but it didn't feel that bad. I'll have to have a look at the video myself after I upload it. But I felt it was pretty okay. But yeah, that was about it. In terms of the ortho thing, what I meant is that let's say you don't have France, and you want to have the nice France airport, you would find the tile containing that airport, and then you would have this tile in a higher zoom level, and then the rest would be the lower ones. I think that's one way to do it. I've been able to do 14, but I'm wondering if we could do 12 or 13 even, right? Maybe that could be something to, to save space, right? Because, you're not gonna fly everywhere on the planet. Let's say you want a lot of Russia, you're not gonna be landing everywhere in Russia, but you want to see it when you're up high. So it might be something to consider. But yeah, not much else then. Gonna connect the jetway here and start the deboarding process, but I think we can end the video here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, and otherwise until next time. Bye bye.